I'm Bea.
And I'm Sam.
And we're two best friends who like to talk shit about smut, wingspan,
And sometimes books.
Join us every Wednesday for a new episode. What we didn't say, actually, is that this is episode 20.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Big 2-0. I know.
That's amazing.
We're back and we're doing another but we're doing a series again.
Yay.
First of all, we do this every time. I forget to do this. What are you reading at the moment?
I am reading The Dawn of the Cursed Queen, which is book 3 in the Gods and Monsters series by Amber v. Nicole.
Yeah, which is the series we're talking about today.
Yes.
We're obviously doing book 1, the Book of Azreal.
Yes.
And then next week we're going to be doing Throne of Broken Gods, which is book 2.
Yes.
Then we'll do Dawn of the Cursed Queen, which is book 3.
Yes.
And then, which I think it falls roughly the beginning of August, we are interviewing Amber v. Nicole herself.
We are. That comes out on the 7th of August.
Ooh, that's very specific. Good math. Yeah, so that's so exciting. So
I cannot wait.
I can't believe we've been lucky enough to do like the Pen Call series and then into Pen Call, and now we're doing like Amber v. Nicole.
Yeah, literally within like 2 months.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
So yeah, we literally can't wait for that. So obviously if you've read this series and you're listening today, then stay tuned because we've got Amber v. Nicole herself to talk about book 4, which comes out
January 2025?
Next year, which I'm literally like chomping at the bit for. I love a January release because it's like Christmas.
Nobody does anything in January.
Yeah, and you're like,
stay in my pajamas, eating Christmas chocolates and reading.
And we'll have that to finish, which would be lovely.
Yes.
I'm currently reading Reckless
by Lauren Roberts.
So last week, obviously, we did Powerless. And yeah, Reckless got released this week or last week. And yeah, I'm about just under halfway through. I am enjoying. I know if you listened to Powerless last week, it's probably the first ever episode we've done where like we weren't overly keen on the book.
Yeah, not that we weren't complimentary because like, you know, she's put out a book, so you know, good on her. It just wasn't our type of story. The writing wasn't for us.
I think we said this in the episode that first books are rough.
Yeah.
And, you know, not only are these books YA, and we kind of said it last week, where they kind of a little bit less to hide behind.
Yes.
But also they're not very long.
Yes.
They're not the most like, you know, we're not talking like Priory of the Orange Tree level kind of like world and fantasy. So it's not much to, they're quite short books.
Yeah.
So it's not much to go off. So like we said this last week, we're just keeping everything crossed that like Reckless delivers. We want to like this series.
Yeah, like, and I'll happily eat my words and
100%.
be like, oh, sorry, I said Powerless wasn't that good, but actually the series as a whole is really good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy. I'm happy to be proved wrong.
Oh yeah, and we're going to read it. We'll read the series. I want to, you know, we're not going to form a full solid opinion until we read the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it definitely wasn't, you know, we didn't enjoy it to the point where we were DNF.
No.
But yeah, it's the first time we've not, because everything we've spoken about thus far, we've maybe bar like Iron Flame.
Yeah.
We've kind of raved about. So yeah, we felt a little bad last week.
Yeah, I went home feeling guilty. I'm not gonna lie.
Sorry, Lauren Roberts.
Yeah. But
I am enjoying so far. Still not quite far enough in that I think I can make too much of a call, but it's definitely an improvement, and I'm like keeping everything crossed. I'm gunning for this book. I want it to do well.
Yeah, and she's just released book 3.
She's announced book 3. Yeah. Has she? Wow, it was quick.
No, she's just announced book 3.
She has, yeah. That's about around the same time next year as
yeah, it's
like
next year
Feb something. I want to say something like that.
Oh. And we've got Onyx Storm.
The cover got announced today. Woohoo!
But it didn't really give us anything.
Yeah, it wasn't like a plot twist. It was just kind of like the same as the ones before, but black.
Yeah, like I wasn't like.
Spray Edge was nice though.
Yeah, it was lovely.
But yeah, again, so like beginning of next year, big books coming out. Big.
Yeah, don't invite me to anything.
Yeah, we're not talking to anyone.
No. Hi everyone. Hope you're enjoying this week's episode.
If you're looking for more A Pod of Smut and Wingspan content, head over to our Patreon, which is now live,
where you'll find monthly bonus content and have the chance to have your say in what we release on the podcast.
subscribe and have a listen. We've got a full episode of all the books that we would recommend to scratch the ACTA itch.
But for now, enjoy the rest of this episode and we'll see you soon.
So today, like we said, we're starting the first book in the Gods and Monsters series, which is the Book of Azreal by Amber v. Nicole. I think like one of the first things to say, not to spoil the episode, is that thankfully we bloody love this series.
Yes.
Or you are loving it so far. You're not quite done. I have finished, but we're big fans.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned earlier that book 2 was actually a 5-star read for you.
Yes.
But obviously today we're just going to be covering book 1. So, if you've not finished the series and you've just read the first book, then we're not going to be talking about...
Don't panic.
No spoilers for book 2.
But spoilers for book 1, obviously.
Yeah. Although, this book falls definitely within the romantasy world, and, this series comes really highly recommended when you read things like From Blood and Ash and, Chris of Broadbent and ACOTAR and all the good stuff. Actually, in terms of, themes and tropes, I guess, and things like that, it's really different.
Quite unique.
Yeah, we've never really read anything like this before.
No. There's a lot of different beings. I don't know what to call them.
Yeah.
But you've got werewolves, but it's not a werewolf book. You've got vampires, but it's not a vampire book. You've got witches, but it's not a witch book.
Yeah.
You've got gods, but it's not overly godly.
And you've got sort of Nordic hints, but not... We're not talking like Fate Inked in Blood, where it's literally like canon to kind of Nordic beliefs.
But different realms and worlds and portals between worlds.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Quite sci-fi.
Yeah, I think so.
And, we've got these characters which are how are we saying it? Igmorathan, which is sort of like demons. You've got kind of an equivalent of hell.
Yeah. Iasulin.
Oh.
That's how, it's IASSULYN.
Okay, so maybe.
Iasulin?
Yeah.
I'm fucking...
And then we're sort of... The Celestials live as Rashirim, yeah. We're going to absolutely butcher all this pronunciation.
People are going to be listening what the fuck are they saying?
It's going to be like Fate Inked in Blood all over again.
God. What were you calling somebody wrong? And I was like, you kept calling Freya Feyre.
Oh, yeah.
And Snorri. We were like, Snorri. They were just all over the place with his name as well.
What was the name of the man that kidnaps Bjorn?
Can't remember.
Yeah, I just butcher names. If you've been listening since the beginning, it's a running theme. So sorry to anybody who actually knows the pronunciations, because
I wonder if she's got a pronunciation guide.
Yeah, maybe. I haven't looked actually.
If she has, I'll learn it for next week.
We're gonna have to learn it before we interview her, because we're like dickheads, aren't we? We're like, a Rashirim? And she's like, what? Sorry?
Yeah, she's like, sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Can you try again? The place the Celestians are from.
Sorry, Amber.
She'd be like, are you fans?
Remind me not to agree to do interviews again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so it's really quite, like we said, quite sci-fi, really different.
Very
and
different.
I think if someone had told me a bit more about it, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but I think if somebody told me a bit more about it before reading it, and kind of explain quite how sci-fi it was, it probably would have put me off a bit.
Yeah,
I would have been a bit like,
absolutely.
I don't know, this is for me.
Oh.
However, oh my God, eat it up, serve it to me every day. I bloody love this.
Blend it, inject it into my veins.
Yeah, and again, obviously if you're listening, you've read it, we're not going to be doing a blow by blow of the plot.
No.
But when you started this, and the opening scene that we get is sort of Diana, our main character, torturing somebody, really.
Yeah. And then she licks his blood and goes into his memories, which is really unique.
Very.
Even in vampire books that we've read, drinking their blood doesn't allow you to see their past, but you can she can, if she takes your blood, she can then see your memories, and she can sort of rifle through them as if she's going through a filing cabinet. Right, no, I don't need that, I don't need that. Which she does, doesn't she? She's looking for specific information. Which is really interesting.
And Diana is mad powerful. Drinks blood and can read your mind. Basically can shapeshift into pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Shapeshifts into, well, actually not shapeshifts. Her true form is the Igmorthan form, which is kind of like a dragon,
like a wyvern.
Yeah. But obviously can make herself into basically fucking anything.
Yeah, she can glamour herself to look like somebody else.
Yes.
she can like hide her scent so that she's not being like so many unique things that she can do, but also eating somebody, consuming somebody makes her more powerful.
Yeah. So she's like a blood drinker, isn't she? Although I think
like the more she takes, the more powerful she gets.
And we learn that like she's not to a vampire level where it's all she lives off. Like she does eat food and but like the preference is she's this blood drinking sort of wyvern. And we learn pretty early on that like whatever she is literally like the devil, basically. Like people aren't fans of what she is.
No. And I think it's quite interesting that we're told very early on that Kaden turned her into an Igmorathan. She was a mortal.
Yes.
And her and her sister were dying.
Yeah.
And he turned her. However, he's never been able to successfully turn a mortal again. When he tries to turn mortals, they turn into Ivakuva. Is that how you say it?
I don't know. But doesn't he turn? So there's Kaden, who's sort of like the leader of her little, I don't know, gang, who is an Igmorthan himself or not. So we don't really know what Kaden is. All we know is that he turned her.
Alistair and Tobias, we find out what they are later, but they're not.
They're not Igmorthan like Diana.
It's a bit confusing.
TBC.
Very much explained in book 2.
Okay, I can't remember. Okay.
Yeah.
So at this point, if we were talking about book 1, we don't really know that they are Igmorthan.
No, one of my questions is, what is Kaden?
Okay.
For book 1,
we just don't know.
No, and we don't find out until end of book 2.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What Kaden is.
Okay.
And same with Alistair and Tobias. Like, at end of book 2, we've got a better understanding of what they are. The three of them.
Yeah. So, and that's one of the things one of the topics I had to discuss. I guess we can discuss it now. Is I don't mean this in a negative way, and I wouldn't say that the world it's not bad world building. It's not it's not difficult. It's very intense.
Very intense.
And I think because it's so different to anything you generally read in the romantasy genre, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But it does mean you are literally starting from scratch. Like you've got no sort of preconceived conceptions of anything. Like we're not talking fae. We're not talking like, courts. We're not talking anything like that. So, she is having to give you everything.
Yeah. And like obviously the first however many chapters are Diana's point of view. So you're only getting her point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty early on, we understand that Diana's had a relationship with Kaden, which is purely sexual now. There's no love between them.
I don't think there ever was there? She always describes it as quite...
Well, no, she loved him in the beginning.
Yeah, she did, but I don't think they were never really boyfriend and girlfriend, were they?
No. He sort of uses her sister, sort of like dangles her sister over her to get her to do whatever he says, basically. So
yeah, and he allows Diana. So she obviously lives, and again, this is the other thing, is that the world building, as in physically, geographically, it's not bad. It's just a lot to get your head around in the beginning, because we're not just talking like continents and countries. We're talking realms.
Yeah.
So sometimes you've got it just trying to separate between. Are we talking a realm, a country?
Yeah.
So where she is like Anuna,
yeah,
which is basically like Earth, like where we mortals.
Yeah.
And so her sister Gabby is kind of, like you said, is dangled over her head quite a lot, so she doesn't get to live with Gabby, be around Gabby all the time. She works for Kaden. That's her. Lives with Kaden, works for Kaden.
Actually. And she will do anything. He tells her to kill somebody. She will do it just to be able to see her sister. Like, I think the driving force of this book and the driving force of Diana is she loves her sister so much that she will do anything to keep her safe and to be able to spend time with her. Yeah, which is quite heartbreaking, actually.
It is. And do you know what I was like also really interested about this book and Diana is that the main character, Diana, is the baddie.
Yeah,
she's not a hero. No, like she's Kaden, her little crew that she's with, they are very much the bad guys.
Well, they're killing machines, basically.
Yeah, and although, like you said, we understand like her motive.
Yeah, you understand her motive, but
it's because of Gabby. It's not like she hates her life.
No,
like she doesn't particularly mind killing people.
Yeah, like but that's the Igmorathan in her as well. Like that's a bloodthirsty like beast, basically. Yeah, so her driving force is Gabby, and Gabby is obviously the complete opposite. She's a nurse.
Yeah.
She helps people. She is like, it's like light night and day, isn't it? Like Gabby's like sunshine and like bright and bubbly. Diana's dark and like a killing machine. So they're very much like the polar opposites. So they balance each other well.
Am I right in saying that obviously this deal that Diana struck to keep Gabby alive means that like Gabby has been living for like...
Yeah, but she's not an Igmorathan, so I don't know. I don't think it's explained what Kaden did to her.
We just know that she's got an extended life, isn't she?
Yeah.
And so she's, presents as maybe like a woman in her 20s, but really she's like hundreds of years old.
Yeah, and they just keep moving around, basically.
And that's mentioned, isn't it? Because I think at one point, like, Gabby gets a boyfriend and introduces him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she says, like, because people freak when they find out that, like, I can only be with them for so long because I don't age.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's an issue for Diana, but Diana's living among other, like, otherworldly beings. Was kind of like all the vampires, all the werewolves, they're all the same, the witches, whereas Gabby is living like a human, so it's really difficult for her to like adjust, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So the plot of this book is Kaden believes that there is a book out there called the Book of Azreal.
Yes.
Azreal was celestial from Rasharim.
And celestials are like, and I'm just saying this to understand that I've understood correctly, we've got gods. Celestials are kind of like people who lived in Rasharim, but they're not gods.
They lived on the same plane as the gods, but they're not gods.
They're kind of in between a human and a god.
Yeah, because they've got powers. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So apparently, sorry to mention, I know whoever's listening to this has read the books. We don't need to explain it, but Rasharim fell.
Yes.
And like fell into Anuna. Yes. So like the worlds melded together. So apparently there's an artifact now on Anuna, which is the Book of Azreal. And it's like the book to unlocking everything. Caden's going to get more power if he has this book. So the plot of this book is finding the Book of Azreal.
Yeah, and he sets and that's Diana's like goal, is she has been sent to find this book.
Yeah, with Alistair and Tobias.
And that's what the first scene opens on, is her torturing a celestial that she believes has got information on the book.
Yeah, and I think we've said this in some books before. I think we said it in A Inked in Blood, and something else as well. But like, other than her sister, Diana's level of like what is normal for her and like what is being treated well is like under the ground.
Oh god.
Like she thinks that she's got like quite a good life. But Kaden is fucking horrible to her.
Awful.
Tobias and Alistair are
awful.
Fucking horrible to her. The only person who is ever nice to her is her sister.
Yeah.
And she's not even allowed to see her all the time.
And we get some mentions to like, because I think again one of the first couple of scenes is like, I don't know what they are, like groups of types of like creatures. So the vampires, the werewolves, they all kind of meet for like a meeting. And there's mention like the heads of the vampires, the heads of the witches are like not nice to her. Like nobody is nice to her because of what she is.
No, other than Drake, which is the head of the vampire's brother. And he is who found her and her sister when they were dying and saved them.
And even, I think, again, obviously we can say this because we're not going in like linear order, but we learn that one of the witches, Camilla, is Diana's ex. At some point they had a relationship.
Very fluid. It's not just men with women and women with men. It's very fluid in terms of relationship and who gets with who, and it's very free for all. Oh my god, I loved it. Especially in book 2, which I won't go into, I won't give anything away, but in book 2 it's even more prominent and it's great. Fantastic.
And what I love is it isn't just like one character. So it's not like this character's gay.
It's not like, I put my representation in.
Yeah, there we are. There's your gay. And
then
you're done.
Box. Yeah. No,
everyone
is just a bit
it's just kind of like a given that everybody in this book is like pansexual.
And I love it.
Yeah, it's great. And it's really refreshing because at no point then are you getting like not confused, but like it's once you get into book 2 you're just like, oh, so and so did this, and you're like, cool.
Yeah it's not like, cool. Oh my god,
no,
like
not a big coming out scene because everybody just wants to shag everyone. It's great.
Love it.
But so one of Diana's exes is Camilla, who is a witch. She's fucking horrible to her.
Oh god, everyone just treats her like trash basically. And I'm just like, no wonder she is so messed up. And like,
well, that's why, like, because when she talks about her relationship with Kaden, like you said, I don't think there's love in it, but she definitely, I think, like, has some. She has some like loyalty to him, doesn't she? She's definitely holding out. He's an absolute fucking dickhead. And like, you just want to shake her and be like, Dianna, babe, like,
come on.
The bar is so low, it's literally underground. The only person that likes you is your sister. And like, you literally get to spend 1 week every like 6 months with her.
Obviously, I was just like writing down my thoughts as I was reading it, and I wrote, "Why are all Diana's friends suspicious?"
So they're not even really friends.
No, they're not.
So
I know
suspicious.
it's fucking stretch to call them friends, but yeah. So the Book of Azreal,
which is this artifact,
that they're looking for. As you get further into the book, just to jump ahead a bit, we don't need to go blow by blow, but obviously she's with Samkiel, who goes by Liam. She's captured, and then they decide to look for the book together. He's going to protect her sister. They're going to look for the book together.
Just remind me, sorry, because this is a long time since I read this book. I did try and jog my memory. But so she is looking for the book. Is it because she attacks a celestial that Samkiel comes from Rasharim, or
one of the hand, Ezekiel, kills himself because he realizes how powerful Diana is. Yeah. And he's like, Samkiel needs to come back.
So the guy that you get in the opening isn't one of the hand. No, he's just a celestial. Yeah, that's what they're trying to get to, is the hand, which is like this inner circle of Samkiel, who's the king of the gods. Yeah, it's like his like.
But obviously he goes by Liam in this book, which I confused you with because I was saying Liam and you were like, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
But we do learn his name is Samkiel.
Yeah. Like no, we know that. Yeah, but he's referred to as Liam throughout this book,
and so that's why he comes down, because
Ezekiel kills himself, and obviously when a celestial dies, there's like a massive flash of light. So Samkiel sees this light from Rasharim, realizes that one of his hand has died, so comes back, but the guy kills himself because he knows it'll make Samkiel come back. But anyway, they strike up this bargain and they start looking together, and Samkiel is like, I saw Azreal die, like none of his artifacts were left, there is nothing. So while they're searching and he keeps saying there isn't going to be a Book of Azreal, did you believe that it was a thing, or did you think it was just going to end up being like a dead end?
I think I knew that it would be something, but I didn't think it would be a book. You know what I mean? Like I thought like, oh, it's going to be something, but maybe not what we expect it to be, you know? But honestly, the way this plays out is just, there was nothing in this book that I could have predicted.
Oh my God, no. Like everything was like, you're like taking me for a turn, like literally like popping my neck out, because like I'd be like, oh my god.
And like the obviously there's such a heavy influence on Azrael being dead from the get-go, right? Which I kind of like, him not being dead wouldn't have surprised me. Yeah, I just expected him to not be dead, but I couldn't have predicted. I couldn't have predicted the way it went. It's so surprising.
Book 2 like takes a turn, but I don't know, because Samkiel kept talking about like, I watched him die, like there was nothing left. I was thinking like, are they on a wild goose chase? Has Kaden set it up because he knows Samkiel will want to look and like he wants to get Samkiel and Diana together to kill them both or something? Do you know, like I was thinking like maybe it's not real, but there's a reason that Kaden has like planted this idea in their heads to get them together. I don't know. I was just sort
when
of...
Samkiel comes to Onuna and then agrees to, and like they agree to work with each other because they're both looking for the Book of Azreal effectively. But he knows that Diana's like an Igmorthan and literally like the big bad. He obviously knows that. Does Kaden know that she's working with Samkiel?
Well, he knows that she's captured by Samkiel.
Oh, he captures her.
Yeah. She's in her wyvern form and she tries to fly away, and he grabs her and pulls her down, and then they put her in chains and she won't eat or anything. And then they decide to work together, and she's like, you have to go and get my sister. He goes to get her from that resort.
Right.
Then they work together. So up until this point, Kaden thinks she's captured, but then her and Samkiel are going somewhere in a convoy, and Alistair and Tobias attack the convoy to try and get her back because they think that they're just moving her, but actually she's working with Samkiel, so she kills Alistair.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I do remember that bit.
And then obviously Tobias goes back and tells Kaden. So from that point on,
he knows that she's like
she's flip-flopped.
Flip-flop sides. Okay. Yeah, I just couldn't remember why exactly they work together, but that I do remember that now.
Yeah. So my next inner monologue, great finger bang.
Yeah, is that all we get in this book?
And a blowjob. Yeah,
we get a blowjob. So in book 1, when does he finger bang her?
Oh, halfway, I'd say.
But like what?
Oh, sorry.
Set the scene for me. Talk me through it.
So they're like following her leads and everyone's fucking her over basically. She goes to see a witch, not Camilla, a different witch. And she tells Kaden that she's there.
Right.
And Ivakuva turns up and like slashes her through the stomach. Then they go somewhere else, following a different lead, and they fucking dob her in as well.
Okay.
So then she's really hurt. She's like all cut open. She's like dying in his arms. And he can sort of like sense if you're a celestial or a mortal. So he's like looking for celestials. He finds a house that's got celestials in it, knocks at their door. They open the door, they know who he is just by looking at him. So they say, yeah, you can come in. He heals Diana.
Okay.
And then they sleep in their spare bedroom.
Right.
And he finger bangs her in the spare bedroom.
Which is when you text me.
Yeah. And then she wakes him up the next morning by sucking him off.
Okay.
It was fantastic. The finger bang was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, this book, I mean, on the spice level, delivers. These series, like in general.
But like even this book, like it was so tense between them. Like you knew it was building up to it.
Yeah.
But then when you got that, and it like you didn't get a lot, like finger bang and a blowjob. But I was like, whoa,
go on,
yeah. But one thing to mention, like to go back a little bit, when they go to the fun fair.
I remember this when they go on a date. Yeah.
It's like eating candy floss. And they have the photos in the photo booth.
Yeah.
And they got the bumper cars.
They're fucking adorable.
But it's really funny because like obviously like he's an alien. He doesn't understand their world. He doesn't understand how they talk. So he's like, why are you eating a cloud of sugar? Like he doesn't understand it. And then she asks him to go on the bumper cars and he's like, why are people putting their children in these death traps? Like he like really doesn't understand and is really fucking cute.
Yeah, it is.
Like the miscommunication, not because I don't like a miscommunication trope.
No, it's not it's just
but it's not, is it? It's just like him not fully understanding what she means when she says things.
It's literally like as if a Norse god landed on Earth.
Yeah,
like they wouldn't have a fucking clue
and
what anything
he picks
is.
up swearing off her, and then like at towards the end of the book, he swears, and Logan's like, "Where did you learn that?" And
because they've all obviously been living on Anuna, or the hand
So Logan, Navera, and
Vincent
have been living on Anuna, and then Imogen, Cameron, and Xavier are on Rasharam. Yeah, where the council is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just really funny. Like he starts to pick things up from there, and like he picks up an eye roll. He's never rolled his eyes before, funny, but because she rolls her eyes at him so much, he starts to do it. And then Logan's like, "How do you know to roll? How do you know like when to roll your eyes?" It's really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, the spice is very good.
The spice is spicing.
So I've written here, Ava, who was Azreal and Victoria's daughter, is suspicious.
Yeah, because don't they describe when they meet her? Because they do meet her in book one, don't they? They go to some kind of underground tunnels or something. Crypt, that's it. I'm sure, and she's with somebody else, isn't she?
Yeah, somebody who is like stationed to protect her.
Right. Yes. Don't they describe the way she acts is quite unusual? That she's kind of a bit
strange.
like not a zombie, but like just something about her is not quite right.
Yeah, everything's fucking weird. So that's obviously why I wrote that the daughter is suspicious. And then obviously, fast forward a little bit, we realise Tobias can control the dead. He's killed them and he's reanimating their corpses to make them lead them to the book, because obviously we find out the book was real and we find it in Victoria's tomb, the mother's tomb, Azrael's wife's tomb.
Right.
And then they sort of like, when they've like finished their job, they let out like a really high-pitched scream to let Tobias know. And then there was a massive fight scene between Diana, Tobias, and Samkiel. And she rips her heart out.
Rips Azrael's daughter's heart out?
No. Diana rips her own heart out.
Does she? I can't remember that.
Shut up.
No, I don't remember that.
So like she's like, Samkiel, you've got the book, take it. Because Tobias is like, I'm going to take you and I'm going to take the book because Kaden wants you.
Yeah.
And she rips her heart out because she thinks it'll kill her. And Samkiel lets him take the book, and Samkiel heals her and puts her heart back in and heals her.
So she rips it because she thinks she'll kill herself, and then
because then Kaden can't be looking for her. She won't be back under Caden's power. Yeah.
Shit, man. Wow. Rough. Yeah.
Because then, like, it's always referenced, like, from then on out that she still has a little scar where she pulled her heart out. Like, it never healed properly. So she's always got, like, a little scar.
So Tobias gets the book.
Yes.
But then Samkiel heals her.
Yes. So her and Samkiel are together, and she's like going mad. Like, you should have let me die. You should have taken the book. And he was like, you didn't need to sacrifice yourself. I could have got you and the book. Like, he's a bit miffed, but it is what it is. Yeah, so Tobias has got the book, and we find out at that point that they're looking for the book because within the book is how to kill Samkiel.
Yeah.
And once Samkiel dies, all the realms will reopen because they're locked by Samkiel's like there's like a blood lock.
And he mentions, I think it talks about that he like suffers from really bad like migraines. Like he physically feels the pressure of all these worlds being locked on him, and he can't access his full power because like he's literally got like this lock on himself. I think that's mentioned in the beginning that like that's why he goes to Rashram and lives this like, because even though he's on the remains of Rashram, he's not near anyone. He's not near Xavier or Cameron or anyone.
He's completely
on
isolated,
his own, just being feral and just having headaches all the time.
Yeah, basically. So she pulls her heart out, which is fucking wild.
Don't remember that, flipping heck.
Then my next point: why does everyone betray Diana?
Everyone is a fucking twat to her.
And like, not even just a twat, like everyone sells her out. Like, she'll go to somebody for help, she'll think they're helping her, and then they fucking sell her out. Like Camilla, she goes to Camilla in this, and actually we sort of find out that Camilla was actually trying to help when she kisses Samkiel.
Yeah, because
she's like speaking mind to mind.
Do we find that up in book 1?
Yeah,
we do. Okay.
Yeah, but again, it's as if she's betrayed him. Santiago, another witch, shows up, and he fucking betrays her.
Yeah.
Like, it's just fucking betrayal all the time, and I'm just like, she can't catch a break.
No, it's really like I said, obviously mentioned this earlier, but first of all, it's really interesting that the main character that you're rooting for is effectively the bad guy, but also like I wouldn't say Diana's particularly good, but she's also not really bad, and it's really interesting to see like everybody else treating the bad guy poorly as opposed to like them treating other people poorly. It's a real like. Her compass is like this all the time. It's really interesting. But also, I feel
like your own compass is like that because it's like, well, she's the bad guy. She's killing people. She's killing mortals. She's got no remorse. No. But then you also feel really bad for her because everyone's treating her like shit. So it's like, am I supposed to like her?
Like I can't blame you, babe, to be honest. Yeah. Everyone.
Yeah, if everyone treated me like that, I'd be fucking mental as well.
Yeah, definitely.
It's wild.
And I think that was what was really refreshing about this.
Yeah.
And also I think as well, Samkiel as a male main character, because again, he's kind of like the good, I say good, like but he's sort of seen as like the good.
Yeah, but then his nickname's the World Ender. Yeah. He has literally ended worlds. So.
And also not very good at times. No. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes he's kind of a bit grey as Diana is. They're really like they're really interesting characters, and I think that's what's so unique about this book, or just about the series in general, is that it's such an interesting take on good and bad, I think.
No, I totally agree.
And them as a pairing is really interesting.
Yeah. So this book ends with Drake, who, like I said, is supposed to be her best friend, like her only friend other than Gabby, betraying her, taking Gabby, her sister, from Logan and Navera, also taking Navera, who is Logan's like amata, which is mate.
Like mate, yeah.
And it ends with like a public broadcast of Kaden.
Yeah.
And it finishes with him panning out to like, it's almost like a talk show crowd.
Yeah.
But it's everyone Diana knows. So like all the witches that she knows, all the werewolves, like all the vampires, like every like other being that she knows. And then pans back to him and he snaps Gabby's neck. Did you think Gabby was going to be dead?
Yeah.
See, I thought it was like a trick. Or like,
it wasn't real. It's like bait her in to get her to go there.
Yeah, because like he knew like she'd go wild and show up. But I thought, but obviously the blood bond dissolved. So the blood bond was, I'll work with you and I won't betray you as long as you protect my sister. So obviously when her sister died, the blood bond between Diana and Samkiel fizzled out and disappeared. But I genuinely thought, oh, she's not going to be dead. This is going to be like a trick, or he's going to be like projecting an image that isn't there, and like, or she can't die. Like he's done something to her, like Diana, because Diana's very hard to kill.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, there's going to be something. Gabby's not going to be dead. That's how I finished this book. Obviously, I won't say whether she is, whether she isn't for book 2, but I finished this book thinking, there's no way they've killed her sister.
It was a real tough one for me because most of the time when things like this happen, I'm always like, no, like they're gonna come back. But like Kaden is such a fucking bastard.
He's savage.
I was like, I'm just convinced, like, yeah, she's dead. Because, like you said, that promise. Because is it like a mark that her and Samkiel get?
Yeah, they make a blood pact. So there's like, it's like on them.
They know.
Like on their palms.
Yeah. So as soon as she said that, I was like, oh my fucking God. Like you said, I thought, because it was like this really horrible, like televised stunt, I thought, like, oh no, he's just baiting her, like he's goading her. And then when it says, like, oh no, the blood pact is gone because Samkiel can't protect her anymore. Oh my God, just fucking, like, you just think, like, this book is literally how many times can Diana get fucked over by other people, and you get to the point where you think, like you said towards the end, especially with Drake, surely now they can't keep getting fucked over, and it's like, oh no, here we go again. I've forgotten that they take Navera.
So obviously Logan's like beside himself. Samkiel's trying to comfort Diana. I don't know, she's just like silent, and she like doesn't cry, she doesn't scream, she doesn't rage, she's just silent. Yes, it's tough.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. And obviously, like, by the end of the book, Diana and Samkiel have developed feelings for each other. Like, that's evident. And it just all goes out the window because like, realistically, all she cares about is her sister.
Oh yeah.
And like, she's just been killed on like national television.
Like we said, Diana's in this situation. Her entire world, her entire existence for thousands of years, or however many years she's lived for, thousands, is all revolved around everything she does is for her sister.
Yeah.
That's all she cares about, the only person that cares about her. But then arguably, does Gabby care about her? Because I know Gabby can't do much, but you have got to think, like, Gabby just kind of lives her little life. I know she necessarily, what could she do?
Yeah, but she does say to her, like, because obviously when Samkiel goes to get Gabby, Diana sort of explains to her, like, I've made a pact with him, they're going to protect you while I do this. She's like, you're just trading one powerful prison for another, one powerful prisoner for another, prison guard for another powerful prison guard. Like, stop letting powerful men have a hold over you. So she does say to her, like, she's like, let's me and you just run away together, let's go and live somewhere, let's live by the sea. Like, so I do think, like, she knows she can't do anything, but she wants more. She wants more for Diana than Diana has. And like, the life, she doesn't want the life that life for her.
No. Yeah, I think it's a considering this is a first book in a series, it's dark.
So dark. The neck snap, like, I was like,
oh my God,
what the fuck. It's really sweet. Obviously, every time they hang up the phone to each other, they say, remember I love you. And then he says, have you got any last words for your sister? And Gabby says, remember I love you. And then he snaps her neck.
And does it say at the end of book 1 that she basically then, like, bursts into flames?
Well, it must do.
Yeah.
Because my last inner monologue is Diana going to end the world? ?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think it's safe to say, you've taken the one thing from her that literally kept her fucking sane.
Without spoiling anything for book 2, can you remember what your predictions were going from book 1 to book 2? I know it was quite a while back that you read these.
I was pretty confident that she was gonna, like, fuck some people up.
Yeah.
Like, there was gonna be some shit to get fucked up.
Yeah, so I think one of my predictions going from book 1 to book 2, because when they televise, obviously Kaden killing her, there's quite like an emphasis on, like, it doesn't feel like it's been just televised to Anuna. It feels like a broadcast for the world, as in like the world of realms.
Right.
So I was like, is he trying to send a message to somebody? Like, is there something more outside of Anuna and Rasharam? Like, is he trying to get to one of the sealed realms?
Yeah.
I thought, like, obviously one of my questions was, what is Kaden? And I thought he must be from a different realm that's currently sealed because of Samkiel. So he's trying to, like, bait Samkiel out of hiding so that he can kill him and unlock the realms. And yeah, obviously we all fucking knew at the end of this book that Diana was going to go fucking wild and, like, be like a feral beast. So,
yeah,
like,
I definitely think by the end of the book came to realization that, like, again, didn't have any hard theories, but, like, Hayden was definitely like some kind of like god or like
something
creator.
more.
Yeah, 100%.
But I also like got the impression that Diana was like that it wasn't like all as it seemed.
Yes.
Because like they talk a lot about Samkiel's Amata dying, and they just like they mention it too many times for me. So coming away from that, I was like, whoever his mate was, are they actually dead? Because they just talk about it over and over again how his mate is dead. So yeah, like I just felt like there's a lot of emphasis on him knowing his Amata was already dead, and that being like something that we're told. And I thought, well, if they're dead, why are we even being told this?
Yeah.
So I don't know, that was sort of floating around in my head as well. Obviously Navarra was taken, so I was like, how is that going to affect Logan? Because it basically indicates that like you can't be away from your Amata for too long.
Yeah, like drives you kind of crazy, really, doesn't it?
Yeah. So like I was like, well, he's gonna literally like rip the
Logan,
like he's gonna rip the world apart to find her, because he's gonna be going mad without her. So like obviously that was in my head. I think so much happened in this book.
Yeah.
That I was just like I couldn't form like a solid theory. I was like, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, because like there's so many different like threads to pull on, because like so many different things have been told to us in book one.
And I think as well, like we said at the beginning, because this series or this book and this series is so different to anything we've read, like it's hard to come up with theories, isn't it?
Yes.
Like I think when you've read, you know, other fae type romantasy books with courts and certain magics,
yeah, you can almost sort of like guess at what's going to happen, because we've not that we've seen it all before, but like we understand how these books work basically.
But because this is so unique, like I haven't got a fucking clue what Kaden could be.
Yeah,
I haven't got a fucking clue what Alistair and Tobias could be. I don't, because we're only just fucking little more Nick Morthan is, let alone what Diana you know what I mean? Like the variation, it could just go anywhere. But then I think that's why it's so enjoyable, because when there are plot twists, it's so refreshing, because you know, there's a lot of romantasy authors that, and again, I'm not slagging it off, but like they like to kill people off and bring them back.
Yeah.
And then, but we've never, like Amber is a debut author, so first of a book. You just don't know that like she could be the author that like fucking kills the main characters and is like tough shit.
Yeah. Sorry, what we do find out in this book is when Tobias comes and he's reanimating the dead, Samkiel calls him by another name.
Oh, does he?
And Diana's like, no, that's Tobias. It's one of like Kaden's like lackeys. And he says, no, he's a king of Yezhaden.
Oh, he does say that. Okay.
And he says, oh, there's 3 kings of Yezhaden, and like they can all like do different things. Right. One can like manipulate blood, which is obviously him, because he can animate the dead. One can like something to do with thoughts, which is obviously Alistair, because he can like go into them, like scramble their minds and then control them. And then he says that one can do something else, which obviously we assume is Caden at this point. Like at this point, as finishing this book, I was like, well, he's the 3rd king of Yezhaden.
Like a trio, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they were with Caden way before Diana joined Caden. So like, yeah, it does imply that.
Yeah. And Samkiel sort of implies that, well, if you were made by a king of Yezhaden, then you're a queen of Yezhaden. And you're a queen. You've got a realm. Like you're a queen.
Oh.
So that is like hinted at, but like obviously we don't. It's not confirmed that they are what Samkiel says they are. But yeah, that was quite interesting as well. That I forgot to mention.
Yeah, I think that's what's so great about this series and about this book is that it keeps you on your toes, because
oh my God, yeah.
You just what can you guess? You just don't know, do you? Like there's you know. And I think that's something to say if anyone who's like finished this, maybe you haven't started book 2, or maybe you like started book 1 and thought you'd listen to this. Like I didn't, but I think because I read book 1 and book 2, I think back to back pretty much, or if not, there was very little time between the two. I think I read them back to back. And obviously, so for me, again, we said this, but like there's so much that happens in book 2 that it's hard to remember where book 1 finishes. But if you felt this in the beginning, is that book 1 was a bit of a slog for you?
Yeah, just I couldn't get into it. And we'd just come off the back of the 3 Spark of the Everflames.
Yeah, which are like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we'd done the pen call interview. So I just think like, I always feel this way, picking up a little bit of a slump.
Like not in a bad, it was just you in a bit of a, like a,
But no, yeah, but also like, I just feel like starting a new book is hard.
It is.
especially when you've got no concept of the world and the characters. Like,
yes,
I just think I was in that, like, oh, get over this hill and get to the plot and you'll be all right. So, like, because I flew through the second half of the book, but yeah, the first half of the book, like, I was just, like, I couldn't see where I was going. I couldn't, like, visualize anyone or anything. Like, it was just it was a lot of information.
Yeah, and I think that is something we'd say is that, like, and again, I'm not saying book one is really enjoyable, but yeah,
good.
the first, like, half, you've got to just keep chipping at it. Once you get past that, from the second half of book one, literally until the end of book three, it's going at like 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it's like plot twist after plot twist after plot twist.
Some of, like, obviously we're not going to talk about it this week, it's going to be next week's episode, but some of the plot twists in book two, I was gasping. Yeah. Like, how many messages have you had of me over the last couple of days? Yeah. Because I'm just like, B, this happened. Like, it's blown me away. Yeah.
And I think again, not a negative, but one of the things is generally in a series, your book one isn't very big.
Yeah.
But book one is not humongous, but book 1, 2, and 3 are pretty much the same size.
Yeah.
So again, we're not talking like a nice little, like A Court of Thorns and Roses, like 300 pager. I think it's probably about 500-600 pages. So yeah, it's a lot when the plot doesn't really pick up until the second half.
Yeah, but worth it.
Like, worth it tenfold. Yeah. Like you said, book one for me was a 4-star. Again, not to like spoil, book two for me, 100% 5-star read.
Yeah, so good.
I'm so excited. And I think, because we know obviously book 4 is coming out.
Yes.
But didn't we see somewhere recently on social media, she said that there's going to be like 8 books.
Yeah,
but I think surely from after 4 onwards, it's not going to be Samkiel and Dianna.
Or it could be a prequel.
Yeah.
Because it could be how his dad formed the realm lock. And
there's so much in this world. There's so much backstory and history.
Because we find out that not all of the Hand are from Onuna. Some of them worked for other gods who were cruel.
They weren't all serving. So when Samkiel formed the Hand, they were all like assigned to different gods. So I think Vincent was working for Nismira. Xavier and Cameron were working for someone else. So like, I think
some of the other gods were really cruel. Some of them have got like PTSD almost from
when Vincent definitely mentions that. And I think Logan was the only one that was like, and he was just friends with Samkiel.
Yeah, he's like his best mate.
Became, and then Samkiel created the Hand. The world is very deep and rich in this series. So like, I can totally imagine that she could literally write like books and books and books about this world.
Oh, absolutely. And prequels and sequels. Like, I think there's no end to what she could write about.
Yeah, she genuinely could write a book for like every character.
Yeah.
Even like the witches, like Camilla, like Drake,
Santiago.
Like, there's so much, like, the world. It's very thorough, and that's the one thing is that, like, even though it's very different, it's so well rounded.
Yeah.
Even in book one, you get that feeling. I know, like, obviously, the more we've read in the series, the more deep you get into it.
Yeah.
But even in book one, it's so well constructed.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Just a delight. And was it on KU for you? Yeah, they're on KU. I thought they
Still
were
at the moment.
Yeah.
All 3 of them.
Debut novel, and she self-published that.
Fantastic.
So good. Like, good for her.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's still doing her day job, but I was researching earlier, and she's a veterinary assistant.
Wow.
Love that for her.
Love that.
I don't know if she still does her day job. She might. I don't know if she does. But yeah, good for her. And obviously now she's been picked up traditionally, and she's everywhere, and it's wonderful. And yeah,
she's class.
Yeah, absolute delight. And we've mentioned this quite a lot in lots of episodes recently, that we just feel like in the romantasy world there is a lack of diversity.
Yeah.
There is 100% in terms of authors and in terms of characters and representation.
Yeah.
I'd say particularly in the mainstream. Obviously, if you go into the little, you can go find like sapphic romantasy. Like, I'm
of course
reading a sapphic, I'm in and out of it, but I'm reading a sapphic vampire book. But like, you have to go specifically look for it. Kind of the stuff that's on the shelves in Waterstone, the mainstream stuff that's being put out there, is not very diverse. No. But that's what I love about this, is that like Amber V. Nicole's books are up on the pedestals with all the big guns, and like you said, it's so like queer. It's probably the way to say it, but it's great. 10 out of 10. Yeah,
it's so fluid, and it's just enjoyable to read the different characters. Like, I just like, Yeah.
And for it not to be this big like plot point.
Yeah, like, oh, he's gay.
I need to tell you my big secret, I'm gay.
Like, no, I'm just gay and whatever. But I might sleep with her as well.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Everyone's sorry, the other thing to mention is everybody in this world is so fucking hot.
So fit.
If like, again, if you have read book 1 or scared to go look at fan art, obviously be careful. But like Amber V. Nicole reposts a lot of her people who do fan art of her books. Jesus Christ.
Dianna.
And Samkiel.
Dianna is a fox.
Him, the fact that he wears rings. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Do we see him in his armour in book 1? Remember if we do.
Yeah, probably when they're fighting with Tobias.
It's not a spoiler that he wears armour, is it? But like, yeah, he has these rings that he presses them and swords come out, or they cover himself in armour. It's such a woof. And he also has all those like silver lines, doesn't he?
Yeah, like almost like veins under his skin.
They've got a name, I can't remember what they are now, but yeah, so hot.
So fit.
And also not just representation in terms of sexuality, also very diverse in characters.
Yeah.
Like a plethora of backgrounds, ethnicities, main characters are not, non-white main characters. Like, great. Like,
love it.
Ticking all the boxes.
Yeah. Thank you, Amber V. Nicole.
I think I'd forgotten after reading the first 2 how much I enjoyed it. And now reading 3 has made me realise, oh my God, I fucking love this series.
No, it was really good.
And it isn't talked about that much.
No.
We don't see it. It's there, but it's not like everywhere.
Not shoved down your throat like our Akatar is.
Yeah, exactly. Or so Jim Ass books in general. But I can't wait to do the rest of the series now, and then to actually get to speak to Amber Nicole is going to be crazy.
I just know I'm going to be emotional again. I'm going to be
have a little cry.
Wreck, yeah.
This time we definitely need to prepare we'll have to get like a nice bucket and a bottle of wine for straight after.
Yeah, because
we finished Pen Coal and it was just a bit like
flat.
Oh, well.
I was crying and you were just sitting there and I was like...
I was disassociating, Sam was crying. Yeah, because it was like this big, massive moment and it was amazing. But then you finish it and then it's just like, oh, what are we doing now then?
Yeah. We went live for a bit, didn't we? Just chatting shit. Like, I think we were just both like overwhelmed.
Yeah,
like, it all this adrenaline running through us and like nothing to do with it.
We were like, oh. So we definitely need to make sure to get something for after Amber V. Nicole because,
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, is that Book of Azreal?
I think so, done? Yeah.
Any parting comments? I
don't think so. I've got honestly nothing bad to say about this book. No. Like, absolute fucking corker. Will be up there in, like, honestly, easily in my top 10 of favourite series.
Yeah.
Easily up there.
Easily.
I think I'm going to hold my tongue till book 4 to say if it's in my top 5, but totally depends on, but it could very well be.
Based on book 2, like, it's up there for me. Like, book 2 was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
I haven't, not to like shit on book 3, it was really good, but having finished book 3, I still would say book 2 is the
holy grail.
A lot happens in book 3, but book 2 is where, like, I think it's just because there's so many plot twists.
Yeah, but everything was just fucking flying all over the place from there. Like, it was wild.
Yeah, it was just as light.
Thanks so much for listening.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at A Pod of Smut and Wingspan.
See you next week.
Bye.